You know, if I controlled rewind, I would rewind so many things. LeBron signing with the Lakers, the Warriors winning the championship, the whole NBA draft. You know what? It's rewind time.
Cousins misses. Oh, almost got his own rebound.
Big thing right now is just...
And he just got hurt. Yeah. DeMarcus Cousins is injured at the other end. Chris Paul fouled, meanwhile, by Davis. And DeMarcus Cousins can't go.
Oh, boy.
He's holding that left lower leg area in the area of his Achilles.
When he missed the foul shot, he went down in there and was able to go up in the air and hit the ball. It'll be interesting to see what happened after he came down. He gingerly kept that left leg up in the air before he hit the floor.
And he's going to be assisted to the locker room and not putting any weight on that left leg, the lower leg area. His teammates assisting him, and Cousins' night, you would have to say right now, is over. And it ends ignominiously and unceremoniously.
Looks bad. Done for the season. Tell me.
Shots. Credit the Milwaukee defense. Inside for Porzingis. But he goes down hard, and he's hurt.
For a dunk, you slide on defense. And then one time out of a million, just happens to be an injury.
Says he was okay. Get up. They'll help him get off the floor. Let's just hope that he's okay. Just a wonderful young talent.
Huge news from the NBA that has been plastered on the back page of the New York Daily News. No, Kristaps Porzingis tearing the ACL in his left knee in a loss to the Bucks tonight. Take a look at that girl sitting courtside with the palms on her cheeks. Speaking.
Coming up on a minute remaining. Rockets by 1. Shot clock to 5. Paul guarded by Cook. Paul on the spin. Rebound.
And it looks like it's the hamstring as well, the way he's holding it. Oh, man.
The head athletic trainer for the Rockets, Keith Jones, over to have a conversation with Chris Paul.
And when there's no contact, as you know, Reg, sometimes those can be some of the scariest injuries for us players when you go up and you hurt yourself and it was no contact.
30 minutes from now. Kenny, the news is official now that Chris Paul won't play. Are you surprised at all that the Rockets are going to hold him out of Game 7?
That is going to wrap it. Durant being pressured by Ariza. 10 seconds to go. And the Golden State Warriors are on their way to a 4th consecutive NBA final. This crowd is stunned. The 65-win Rockets are knocked off. The #1 team in the NBA this year with...
We had a chip on our shoulder to win this series, and it sucks because you know you could win this series if we just had one more playmaker. You know, just than Chris. If he was out there, we would have been playing on Thursday.
I mean, it's a great moment of honesty right there. He's basically like, look, if Chris Paul had been out there, that might have been a whole different story. Do you guys agree?
I agree.
Different outcome.
Yes. And I talked about when I felt Andre Iguodala went down, I felt like that tipped the scale and put the Houston Rockets in pole position to win this series. Once Chris Paul got injured, that gave Golden State Warriors the opportunity to advance. And for the Houston Rockets, there are reasons to lose and then there are excuses. That gentleman being out is a reason.
The Warriors start to celebrate. The Golden State Warriors have won back-to-back NBA championships, and they have won 3 of the last 4 NBA titles.
Crazy in here. It's crazy in here. That's what happens when you win 2 of them in a row, back-to-back. Yeah!
where do you think LeBron will play next season?
That LeBron James is leaving Cleveland. Never was it more apparent to me than yesterday at TD Bank Garden. When I watched this team perform, I said, there's no way in hell he's staying here. There's just no way.
By the way,
there's no way on earth.
I believe that the Los Angeles Lakers, to me, are the leading candidate to land LeBron James.
Here's the first place he could go next year and win the championship. And that's Houston.
God, breaking news, LeBron is a Laker.
LeBron James is a Los Angeles Laker.
I'm ecstatic. I think it was the right situation, the right call for him to make. He wasn't going to get anything accomplished in Cleveland. That was obvious.
At the home of the Lakers, diehard fans are welcoming the newest Laker.
This is the latest Woj bomb. Paul George has agreed to a 4-year, $137 million max contract with the Thunder.
If y'all didn't quite get it, let me say it again. I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay.
Now giving the Lakers more of a chance to court him, especially that LeBron's there.
Yeah, and it seemed to be a fait accompli. And all season long, all we heard was it's going to be LeBron and Paul George. To me,
bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Damn. It's done. I'm a warrior.
About the rich getting richer. If ever there was an upgrade, it's JaVale McGee, the Boogie Cousins. I'm on a plane heading out west. This is unbelievable. It's absolutely, positively unbelievable. Boogie Cousins is on the Golden State Warriors.
The first pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton from Nassau, Bahamas, and the University of Arizona. The second pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Marvin Bagley III from Duke University.
The Atlanta Hawks and Dallas Mavericks have agreed in principle to a deal that would send the third pick in the draft from Atlanta to Dallas for the fifth pick and a future first-round pick from Dallas to Atlanta. It's contingent on this, that the Hawks will select Luka Doncic with the third pick. They will send him to Dallas. And if Trae Young is still there at number 5, and he's expected to be, Memphis is focused on Jaren Jackson at 4. Trae Young will go from the Dallas Mavericks at 5 to the Atlanta Hawks at 3.
Royce, you were on that podcast.
Yeah.
I listened. Will the Hawks regret? And you are from Oklahoma.
He's going to sit there and say that right to me about my boy Trae. Look, I think I understand what Zach is saying. Look, Luka Doncic is the trendy guy right now. He's the smart money when it came to the NBA draft. He's a little bit of an unknown in terms of, he played in Europe, and if you're talking about hipster NBA, there was nobody more popular in the draft than Luka Doncic.
Hipster NBA.
We're forgetting how dominant Trae Young was as a college basketball player. This is a kid that went to the University of Oklahoma and expected to be there 2 or 3 years. He's a 19-year-old. He's got a lot to grow in terms of physicality, strength, quickness. Trae Young, look, I understand the skepticism with him. And there was skepticism with him when he walked onto campus at OU, whether or not he would even be a capable college basketball player from day one. He obviously could dominate a game. His vision is elite. His passing is elite. Those are his best skills. Shooting is not even his best skill. Right. It's the passing and it's the vision. And I think that Trae Young, look, we're drawing conclusions about guys. You talked about this yesterday.
I mean, it sounds like he's talking about Baker Mayfield over here. He's this is like the biggest homer, right?
It could be
but I'm actually with you on it. I'm kind of with you on the Trae Young train because when people talk about Trae, he got compared to Steph Curry a lot. But that's actually the wrong comp. If you ask him who his favorite player was and who he models his game after, it's Steve Nash.
Uh-oh, Hayward's down.
It's an ugly look as far as his foot.
Oh, boy, this doesn't look good. To be in a great deal of pain. Gruesome a wild card has just been dealt to the Celtics.
How did you stay so calm?
I definitely wasn't calm on the inside. I mean, it
comes from the outside looking. You got the injury, and you're just kind of like really calm.
I think, probably in shock more than anything. I mean, when you look down and your foot is just the wrong way, it just doesn't look right, and there's immense amounts of pain, too, coming at the same time, and so it's just like a whirlwind.
Take us through the immediate aftermath.
The trainers came over and they popped my foot back into place, which made it feel a little bit better. I'm sitting there laying on the ground, like wondering what's next, like what's gonna happen. As I'm being carted off, I have this just like emotions, like am I done? Like is my career over? Obviously the season, all the hard work you put in to get ready, you know, moving to the new city, choosing this team, that kind of is out the window, and so you just get like frustrated.
Here's the ovation for Gordon Hayward, and you see him giving the love back to this Celtics faithful. Let's listen in.
Scott and Jody, his mom and dad.
Gordon, we talked about the visualization of this moment. How did the reality compare to the visualization?
Man, it was so good to be out there. Such a blessing that I was able to play basketball again, and so the first 2 minutes I was super gassed. I had so much adrenaline going, but just a blessing.
You know, I know you're on a minutes restriction. How does the management of those minutes affect your rhythm out there?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'm trying to build a rhythm just because I've been out for so long.
Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green going north, and DeMar DeRozan, Jacob Poeltl, and a protected 2019 first-round pick going back to San Antonio.
My initial reaction was Toronto won because even though they only get Kawhi Leonard for a year.
Maybe.
Even though, no, he's going to the Lakers.
If I played this show from a year ago,
he's going to
you'll
Lakers.
say that PG-13 was only going to be in Oklahoma City for a year.
I don't care about him.
The thing is, Paul George has somehow become the ray of hope, the light for all of you faith seekers, that you can do deals that defy all reason and logic and hope. For some reason, in the next year, you can convince a guy who's made it clear to the tune of $100 million he's bypassed to stay in San Antonio, made it clear, I want to be in L.A. And by the way, there are reports he is not happy about going to Toronto. So you keep running Paul George out there as your singular example. I'll take Kawhi at his word. I think Tom is right. I think the Spurs are going home high-fiving, Ryan. I think they can't believe they got this deal. All reports were that people were laughing off Jaylen Brown. No, you're not getting Jaylen Brown for a year of Kawhi. You want Markelle Fultz for a year of Kawhi? No, thank you, said Philly. And somehow they pulled DeMar DeRozan out of this deal?
But the more I thought about this, I thought San Antonio won for this reason. Tony Parker is gone now. DeMar DeRozan right now is a better player right now than Tony Parker. And that really helps them. And Kawhi Leonard was going to leave anyway. I'm not saying it makes him a contender, but I'm saying if Popovich can convince DeRozan this is a good place to be, I didn't think they'd get anything for Kawhi Leonard.
Practice for the first time with the Wolves, and I'm just gonna read a little bit of Adrian Wojnarowski's report on what happened there. That you were loud, emotional, passionate, we like to say, targeting Coach Tom Thibodeau, teammates like Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. That you told GM Scott Layton, quote, "You effing need me." How would you describe what happened today?
A lot of it's true. A lot of it is true. But you got to think.
Awesome. Chris Broussard joining us. So it's an NFL Monday, but there are a couple of things here. There was a massive trade Saturday in the NBA. Jimmy Butler's now in Chicago, not happy. Goes to Minnesota, not happy. Now goes to Philadelphia. And my takeaway is, listen, man, I understand moving around in the NBA. Jimmy Butler's now on his third team in a very short time. Is this the move we think is great for Philadelphia, or do we have potential fireworks shows here?
That's a great point. Look, Jimmy Butler's a tremendous player, both sides of the floor. But I'm not so sure Minnesota didn't win this trade. Okay, you got shooting. Covington is a very good two-way player. Defends, he's tough.
Long.
Spreads the floor because he can shoot the three. Saric can shoot the three. And Karl Anthony Towns' game had declined.
Yes.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't know how big. I think the personal stuff was overblown with him and Butler.
Yeah.
Not that there wasn't something there, but his play declined completely. So now he's going to be back. The pecking order is set, and I think they may be a better team. Philadelphia, on paper, it's fine. The problem is you have no shooting. J.J. Redick's really your only shooter. He needs to be
in the trade block next.
Yes. I think he's probably been on the trade blocks. I just don't think they can find any takers. You know, I hate to be the one to say this, but, you know, he's been a bust for them. And, you know, it's very obvious now that, you know, he's not the player that they drafted. And they realize that, and I'm sure that they're not finding any takers for him. So I do think that this is the last of this young man that we will see, probably in a Sixers uniform. But I don't know whether they're going to have to eat his contract or what. But right now, his future just doesn't look good for him. I mean, to be the top pick in the draft and just not able to bring anything, no value to the game at all. I feel sorry for the young man.
Freak is an MVP right now. How about that? And you know what? I've never given my name up before, but I'm giving it to him. He's the new Superman.
You're giving the new Superman nickname to Greek Freak?
Yes, I am.
Who can't hit a three-pointer yet? Shaq, can he at least hit a jump shot first?
I didn't hit no three-pointer either, but he's dominating, and that's what I like. You dominating in the paint, you taking it to the hole, you throwing it down, you ain't shooting no flip shots. He did something last night. I was like, you know what? This kid can play. So I denounced myself as Superman, and I'm giving it to the Greek Freak.
Max Kellerman.
I love this so much.
Giannis? New Superman?
I love
you
this so much, and Stephen A., great work out of you.
Now, look, they finally gave him the right personnel. They surrounded him with three-point shooters. Brook Lopez, a taller individual who can space out, pick and pop. They give him Chris Middleton, who can knock down shots. Malcolm Brogdon, who can knock down shots. The numbers he's putting up is ridiculous. Now, I know you're going to say he's not a closer. Once again, back out of the personal space. What I'm going to say, though, is he's shooting 58% from the field, and he's averaging 7 points per game, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists. The numbers are off the charts, and Milwaukee is second in the East. Milwaukee's second in the East. Go ahead,
how does he get the nod over the man who's first in the East?
Because the numbers
how does he get the nod over the man who's first?
The numbers he's putting up is ridiculous. They're off the charts.
He has a better team.
He
has a better supporting cast around him.
Thank you for making my argument for me. He does have a better team.
And he's making it happen. But he's the reason. Hold on. You swap out DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Okay.
Wasn't
and
your
they're
original
rolling
argument about LeBron James, not Kawhi, but now you're jumping on Kawhi. I'm just interested. I'm trying to follow you right
now. This is the reality in the MVP race. In the MVP race,
talk through it.
You normally get your MVP the year after. You deserved it last year. LeBron should have been MVP last year, but he gets it after. James Harden arguably should have been MVP. He gets MVP the year after. LeBron should have been MVP this year.
DJ.
This ain't his year, not yet.
What do you make of Durant and his rabbit ears and his social media and his talking all the time stuff?
Well, it's interesting because ever since he's gone to Golden State, and people told me when he made that move, people close to him said this was the first move he ever made just for himself. Where he didn't care about what other people were going to think about it, where he didn't make the move or do something for other people's approval or to make them happy, but he did it for himself. And I think he's taken that, to social media. Like now he's like, even his interviews, whatever, he says what he wants on the court. Now he told me himself, this is the real me. The guy getting the technicals, the guy that's fiery in people's faces, talking trash. That's the real me. The guy in Oklahoma City was the phony.
So the guy in Oklahoma City, he was trying to be a people pleaser.
Yes.
And that's like, okay, now I'm going to do...
Which probably is his nature, but he knows that's not really the healthiest way to live. So to make you the happiest. So you just do what you do. When you get to a place in your life where you don't care what people think, that's a healthy place. That's freedom. That's real freedom right there. And so I think Durant is interesting because on the one hand, he's that guy. I don't care what you think. I'm going to say what I want. But on the other hand, he's reacting to every little slight from 15-year-olds on Instagram. You know what I mean? So it's weird. I don't know.
You know who's about to get a lot of respect? Kevin Durant once he leaves the Warriors this offseason. Let's talk about this whole situation. We ain't got to go too in depth because it's been covered everywhere.
Yeah, but do y'all remember last year when I looked into that camera and told him how to save his legacy? We need to find that. Was we even? Yeah, we had a video. Yeah. We need to find that because I need to send that to him personally again because we never did send it. So we need to go get that. But yes,
to him in his DMs on IG.
He'll see him. I got to see which account to send it to him.
Right. All right, so the whole argument goes between him and Draymond. Draymond gets suspended for a game. Forget about that. I'm like 95% sure this is it for the Golden State KD era.
I'm 98 because I was 95 to start the season.
Right.
So,
which is beautiful for the league.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Let me know what was your favorite part. Subscribe, hit the notification button, share this video please, and I'll see you guys next time.